I'm gonna make a quick video today. Hopefully it's quick. I don't want to ramble on. You'll have to bear with me. I've been up working all night for 2 nights in a row. I got a little short nap when I got in this morning, but it was around lunchtime, I guess, when I got in. But so this is 4 o'clock Central Time, 4:17. But so I'm testing out this strategy, theory, whatever you want to call it. It's based on a 3-day. I've seen a very high percentage where your third day of your up rally or bounce, you'll get a down day on day 3, like AVAX right here. Okay, so I've got a scan set up on Symbolic that looks for this perfect setup. These are all the ones that hit today. This is short and gold, G triple L. ICE, that's high risk. But Joe also set up. AVAX looks pretty decent. GMX looks like a pretty good buy zone. Now, and Ruin looks pretty good too. Ruin doesn't have the daily money flow coming in. But if you look at most things on a weekly basis, now Ruin is an exception. It pretty much led this rally. It's on a +5 coming up. It's kind of hard to see this. Let me zoom in on it. Symbolic would let me use their software. Like over here, you got your 913. You had good money flow on this money flow indicator. After your 9 count, the very next week, you made 20% in 7 days, almost 21%. Now, you made a little and then it pulled back, and then you got your second rally. You almost made nearly 48% on this one bar right here. That's on a weekly candlestick. So 7 days, you made nearly 48% on your money. The next week, you made 28% on your money. Now, you've been trailing off since then. So I don't know. This thing may have kind of already run its course for the most part. I don't like buying things that have lower highs on a weekly basis. That's going down in price on a weekly time frame. Looks like, this thing could go down weekly till January 22nd, according to this cloud formation. But I'm seeing, looks like about September 25th, maybe the 24th. I believe that'd be, 24th is a Sunday. So you could buy end of the day around 6:55, 7 o'clock Central Time on the 24th. Not financial advice, but I'm looking at that being a pretty good time frame. GMX looks really good. Daily, I think daily. I'm pretty sure most of these are probably bounced tomorrow. We kind of got a red day pretty much across the crypto market today, but not much going up today. But we had something showed up on the one bar, I think. Let me scan that. Let me go over these first. But see, what I try to do is try to catch it on somewhere around this support zone. 32.96, I think, is what I bid on GMX. I don't know if I got that bid filled today or not. I got some bids. I put them in. I was probably around 9-10 o'clock last night. I threw some bids in I did my 3-day scan, pretty much starting on day 3 of a pullback, and on a down day. So my theory is if you can get this in an uptrend, now ideally it needs to hold this trend line right here, which it has broken that. We'll see what it does tomorrow. Everything's still kind of dicey as far as economic news, and it's not a perfect environment for testing the waters. But I guess if you don't test them at some point, then you miss the whole move before you realize you've bottomed out and started a bull run. Your next bull market. But when you look at like GMX on a weekly, nearly everything's on a 7 or an 8 count. I call it a -8 or -7. So I'm looking, we may get one more week of down action, kind of like we did over here, possibly. Now this was a big 8 bar. It went up 14% on the 8 bar. So if you get a major, down 7 bar or something, a lot of times you will see a rally on 8 and 9, and that started a little short, brief 4 or 5 week rally. Of course, nearly everything had a good time frame on around that June 10th, June 13th time frame. But AVAX looks pretty good. Look at the money flow on AVAX. This is Larry Williams money flow indicator. It looks like the big money's accumulating pretty significant amount on AVAX. This Joe, that's an exchange. It doesn't have enough data to get the money flow, but and it's closing below the cloud, so that's not real strong. But let's see if you go to the daily. I'll be curious just to see if Joe and AVAX bounce tomorrow. I don't know that I really want to invest, put much more money at risk. I'm already pretty heavily. I've got some decent, sizable bets going right now, testing this out. I should be testing it with on paper and not real money, but I've seen it work a pretty high percentage of the time. I can't tell you exactly what percentage it works. I would say at least 70, maybe 80, 90%. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna start testing it. So, but at least until we get long-term signal set up. Like I say, Joe's on a -8. I think you get your -9 count. You get one more week on most. Anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks. I think you get that set up. I think that's about as good as you can get. I mean, it's not perfect, but you may never get a perfection setup. Here's my 1 bar. They call it price flip bar. So it'd be 1 bar, 1 day, starting your up count of hopefully 9 consecutive days. Gala shows it's on a -8 weekly. You go to daily. It's a down day. Now I have seen that work. I don't really like buying down days, but I mean, there was one over here that worked. It was down 4%. Started the 1 count, but you did 9 out first. But now you do have a 13 over here, which is what you had over here too. So, and then on bar 2, you rallied pretty much everything you lost that day. You made 4% in 1 day. Now, can't retire on that, but if you could do that every day, that's a pretty significant gain. there's some stocks on the stock market. Well, Berkshire Hathaway only made 3% last year for the whole year. If you look at Berkshire B stock, pull that up on a yearly chart, and pretty sure they made close to 3% for the year. But let's see, Shiba's showing up. I'm not a huge Shiba fan. There is some money flow on it, I'll give you that. Now, weekly, it's only on a -3. It hit -9, like everything else, around June 12th. Had a nice week the next week. Haven't made 9%. You don't have any weekly money flow. You've actually got a sell signal right here. That's worked pretty good so far, coming down off the top here. I'm not a huge Shiba fan, but let's see, GBTC, it's on a -4, kind of trailing up. This is a 1-bar price bar flip yesterday. What did you get today? It's pretty much flat. Zero, I guess. Here's Bitcoin. Had a up bar. A lot of times you do get a retrace either on bar 2 or bar 3. I like it better when it does it on day 3, or your 3 candlestick, your 3-bar day. Bitcoin's down today. Most likely probably rallies tomorrow, but it looks like the big money's accumulating somewhere down in this lower range, right around 25,000. Looks to me like. If you pull up the Commitment of Trader report, you can see the yellow line here on Bitcoin. The big money's been accumulating their position since August 15th. I know that's hard to see. I don't really know if I can blow that up. Let's see. It's going to mess it up, isn't it? There we go. Right here, it ticked up just a little bit from August 8th to August 15th. So you could even say, just say August 15th. It's been accumulating, but now you can't bet the farm on that just on 1 week of up action. I mean, we've had at least 3 weeks of these red bars reducing. So the big money is reducing their short position on Bitcoin pretty much 3 weeks in a row, and their net position is going up for 3 to 4 weeks in a row. So, I think that's a pretty significant. I was curious about what happened on, there's your June 13 right there. You can see their net position pretty much topped out right around this line right here, this three line right here. See over here's your 3. That's where it topped out. And then the next week it started down. Let's go out 6 months, see if, and let's go out a little further. Let's go 9 months. See if we can find. This June 23 was. I want to find. Let's go back 2 years, see if we can find a net position. Let's see, so we're back up near the highs that we had of accumulation, their net position, into June 13th. So if you look at a chart of Bitcoin, over here, pretty much everything exploded the week after June 13th, I believe. Bitcoin may not have been a massive, but most of your altcoins were. Most of your altcoins that were set up, for a really good bounce. Let's see. I just want to look at what it did. So here's June 12th week. It went up 1.6%. Very next week, Bitcoin went up 15.65% in 7 days. So that tells me right there, when you see possibly that could be another buy and sell signal, when you see the dealers net position get above this 3, whatever that is. Possible buy signal. Of course, you get, in the bull run over here in 21, the whole time they're accumulating, a lot of time I think Bitcoin's going down. But when they start selling, that theory didn't really hold up. They start dumping their position and pretty big time in February of 22. I think we all felt that pain. That was a major dump. I mean, you can tell their short position constantly increasing. These red bars are just constantly increasing. Topped out pretty much January of 23, reduced, and they increased it again. Now it's reducing again. We did get a rally here in January of 23 when they started reducing their short position and they started accumulating this whole time until about June 13th. It's pretty interesting. I'm trying to figure this out. I know Larry Williams talks about this commitment of trader report a lot. He pretty much bases his success on it. He gives it a lot of credit. Says it's a big part of his strategy on commodities and futures. But you get this data every Friday at 3:30 Eastern time, 2:30 Central, and you can look at it. You can pull up crypto indexes. You can do Bitcoin. Ethereum is actually their net long, so that they're more long than they are short, and they're increasing their position. This is the second week in a row. Well, actually third. You pull back just a little bit on August 29th week. I believe all this data is based on a Tuesday. They do weekly report on it. So it looks like they're definitely getting set up on Ethereum. I know Larry talks about, I think it's in one of his books. He said, if you can find somewhere over here with the dealers, that's the big money. If you can find them changing their position size, ideally above 20%, I think double digits, this 13% was pretty significant. They increased their long position on Ethereum, 13.4%. Now, they also increased their short position, so that's kind of a hedge bet. But you see the spread is 633% increase. I've heard Larry talk about watching the spread. Not all of your commodities and futures track it. Over here is your public money, the non-reportable, I believe, and the other reportable. I don't know why you have two of those. Well, I'm guessing maybe one of these may be like your whales, maybe your multimillionaire public, that's just betting their own money. They increased short position 27% on Ethereum, reduced their longs. Your leverage money went 63% long increase. So they're going to have to shake that out at some point. They're going to have to, liquidate the people that are betting along with leverage margin money. I think maybe we get 1 to 2 more weeks of down action, and I think you got a pretty good time frame somewhere around September 24th, 25th. Looks like it should go up until maybe the 1st of November, is what I'm seeing on most of my. And you can base that off of, I can use Williams cycle or Williams true seasonal on this. You put it on a weekly basis. It's saying topping out somewhere or bottoming out somewhere the week of the 18th, which is historically the worst week of the stock market. So I really don't want to be invested heavily during this week, because if we get any bad economic news, stock related or economic, it's going to be probably during this week right here, which might be a good time to buy. I mean, if you can get a major drop in price, I mean, you might make 10, 20, I mean, save, 10, 20, get a 10, 20% discount on most crypto if you bought at the end of the week. Now, seeing it's showing Bitcoin to go up till October 30th, so that's right at November, right before November 1st. That's your seasonality. That's what it normally does over a historic. Now you only go back till 2020 on the data on this indicator, but your Williams cycle, let's load it up, see what it says. It's showing mostly up, a little pullback here. It's showing it should go up, but I guess it kind of called this rally. And you had a little pullback here. Now we haven't started back up yet. It was showing a bottom here around July 31st. We haven't got that yet, but most of the time you're going to need to wait till your 8-9 count completes on a weekly chart, and then I think you'll start to see some up action. The Ichimoku cloud shows you might get some up action around October 23rd, the week of that, but I think you're going to see it earlier than that. I think one more week of down action on Bitcoin. With the big money accumulating, I'd say you're probably going to be lucky to get somewhere in this 25,000, 23,000 zone. I know Gareth is predicting we might hit 20,000, could even go down to between 9 to 10,000 if we slip into a recession type environment. I kind of doubt they're going to let that happen. The powers that be, I don't think they really want a recession happening on an election year, but they may not be able to prevent it. I don't know if they've got any money left in the tank or not without printing money. Now this shows, also in 2024 we show another bottom buy point sometime around January 22nd. for Bitcoin, and then mostly up anywhere from April to May, probably middle part of May, May 20th, May 15th. I mean, you got this little down dip right here. I'd probably dump out at around April 20th, but at least sell half anyway. Take profit if you got it. Not financial advice, but it looks like most of the year after May next year is straight down. So that concerns me a little bit. And the stock market may be the same way. I don't know. Let me just pull, get the right ticker. Let me pull the SPY up. It's showing December 10th as a top, which at most time it is. A lot of times the S&P will pull back right before Christmas. December 10th would probably be a pretty safe bet on that. It's showing a bottom sometime around September 10th. I mean, kind of sideways, choppy, probably through October and September most part. And then it looks like about November 5th, you have a pretty nice little uptick here for stocks. Maybe first part of November through December 10th anyway. That'd be a decent time to buy in, I think, on stocks. Historically, October 25th is about the best time to buy in. October 25th to May 25th, that's your strongest time of the year historically for stock market, for at least for the S&P 500, where the S&P's lost the least amount of money and it's made the most amount of gains, and you've had the least amount of black swan events, not counting COVID, which was a pretty major one, but so, with a grain of salt on that, but nothing works 100%. We're card counters at a blackjack table. We're just trying to improve our odds of success and hopefully try to catch the trend, try to catch the reversal, try to ride the wave as far as you can, I guess. Here's the S&P on the Williams True Seasonal. It's showing that week of September 24th also as a bottom and a rally until November 26th. That week on a weekly. And then that's pretty much down and choppy sideways down until about March 10th. That's what that shows. So, yeah, it's showing another top over here about July 14th. So you could go March 10th to July 14th on the S&P for next year. And you may get a significant sell-off after that. Probably around July 4th holiday. You usually get a seasonal rally somewhere around the 4th of July. You'll get like 2 or 3 days of up action, and then most likely the next week probably sell off. That's showing May 26th as a short-term top, and then it comes down here till June 16th. Get a small rally into July and then sell off, but I need to back test this more, and see. I've noticed Larry shows some of his videos this year. He says the True Seasonal is working better than the Williams Cycle this year for most. It didn't call this rally right here. Kind of missed that. I guess it kind of did right here. June 18th to June, June to July about a 30-day period, I guess. So maybe call 4 weeks of it. And it kind of called this sell-off here. I'll give it that, I guess. But we bottomed out, possibly. Nah, you can't. I wouldn't bet on that. I think September's going to be a pretty bad month. It may not be catastrophic or nothing, but it's just pretty high stakes poker right now. I'm pretty much on the sidelines in cash on my stock accounts, but so anyway, I'll end this video. I don't want to get too long and windy, but that's what I'm seeing. Well, see how it plays out, I guess. All you can do is try to get a game plan and try to stick with it best you can. I may try to set some alerts or on my calendar or whatever for September 24th, I think, is a pretty decent long-term buy point. I probably won't go all in that day or nothing, but I'm thinking, I'll bet at least 50% of my portfolio, probably, maybe 75%. I might save a little dry powder for, if you get one more down week or something. But I want to be pretty significantly invested on crypto, was somewhere around that September 24th day. So we'll catch y'all later.